If you see red painted sticks along a mountain road, keep driving. Don't stop for gas. Don't accept help. The car lurched left around the mountain bend, and Amy instinctively gripped the handle above her head. Tyler snorted from the driver's seat. He had been trying to impress Lila, who was sitting in the back. Matthew leaned over from the back seat. "Dude, lay off the clutch. You're going to burn it out if you keep riding it down the hill." Lila groaned and sank into her chair. I'm bored." She kicked the seat in front of her. "Why couldn't we do something interesting like go to summer festival?" Amy laughed. "Because nobody else wants to go to some shitty music festival." Tyler switched on the radio. The speakers blared static. "Fuck." Amy grabbed the volume knob and spun it left, turning the noise down. "Sorry." Tyler pressed some buttons on the dashboard. After switching through several stations of different types of static, they landed on something that resembled speaking. "Oh, I think we have a winner." He pressed a few more buttons, and the speakers began playing what sounded like a religious radio station. "And the Lord provides for those who lose their way, brings them home to the fold, yes, brings them to the family that waits." "Nope," Matt said, lurching across the middle of the car and switching the radio off. "No religious nightmares for me, thanks." "What are those things on the side of the road?" Lila pointed out the window at some wooden sticks painted red sticking out of the ground. "I keep seeing them randomly. Are they to I don't know, stop you from going off the road or something?" "How would that stop you from going off the road?" Matt laughed. "Hey, don't laugh, bro. You don't know what it's for either," Tyler grumbled. "Probably to mark where Roadka was," Amy said, her face pressed against the window. She noticed 6 more painted sticks on her side of the road, all in a line. "It is pretty fucking creepy, though," she snorted. "Do you even know where we're going?" Matt asked, leaning his head back against the headrest and closing his eyes. "Of course I do, bro. I looked at the map like 60 times before we left. It's keep following this road until a roundabout, then left, and then yeah, from there." After another half-hour of driving, Tyler groaned loudly. "Ah shit," he slammed his hand against the steering wheel. "We're almost out of fucking gas, man." Amy lurched awake. She hadn't even realized she'd fallen asleep. "Wait, what? I thought we filled up like an hour ago." "That was more like 3 hours ago," Lila said, picking at her nails. "Fucking hell, Tyler, haven't you been paying attention?" Matt called from the back seat. "I just thought it was Tyler's voice trailed off. "Look," Amy's eyes widened, and she pointed at a sign coming up. "Gas 2 miles," was written in red spray paint on a wooden fence post leaning against a tree. "Hey, maybe that religious stuff helped us or something," Lila smirked. Up ahead, they saw a dingy old gas station that looked like it had been neglected for decades. The awning was drooping on one side, and the sides of the building were overgrown with tangled trees and tall grass. The windows were covered in grime, and aggressive weeds sprouted from the concrete between the gas pumps. "Oh, fucking great, it's abandoned." Tyler slammed his hand against the wheel, causing the car to lurch slightly. "Jesus, man, fucking stop doing that," Matt yelled. Amy looked up at the dark sky. The sun had started to set, and the last rays of light were abandoning them over the hills. "Great, just fucking great. We're out of gas and it's almost fucking nighttime." Lila leaned forward. "Hey guys, when's the last time we've seen a car? I don't think I've seen one pass in hours." Matt groaned and rubbed his face with his hands. "Look, we'll pull over and maybe there's still fuel in the pumps," Tyler said, a hint of nervousness creeping into his voice. They pulled into the station, and the car shuddered over the sharp change of terrain. Tyler stopped next to a pump and looked at the others before climbing out. Amy and Matt climbed out next, groaning and stretching almost in unison. Matt leaned down and poked his head into the car. "Are you coming out?" Lila looked around nervously before opening the door and shuffling out. "No dice." Tyler pulled the trigger of the gas pump several times to no avail. That's just great. Amy kicked a rock and it bounced off the old building. Should we see if there's a phone inside or something? Lila asked, creeping closer to Tyler. Amy was already at the window. She wiped a thick layer of dust and dirt off with her jacket sleeve and pressed her forehead against the glass, struggling to see inside. Matt walked over and tried the door, but it was securely chained from the inside with a padlock. Tyler and Lila wandered over, and Tyler picked up a chunk of concrete he'd found. "Whoa, what the fuck are you doing?" Amy gasped. "I'm gonna, break the window so we can climb in," he shrugged. "What if it's not abandoned?" Lila said quietly. They all turned and stared at her. "Yeah, sorry." She looked at the ground. Tyler threw the chunk of concrete. It shattered the window, flew halfway inside and smashed into a shelf, causing it to crash to the ground. The noise echoed around them, and a few nearby birds flew off. "See, easy peasy," Tyler said, beaming as he climbed through the broken window. They poked their heads inside, watching Tyler walk into the darkness, using his phone as a flashlight. "Do you see a phone?" Lila called out. No answer. "Tyler," Amy yelled into the building. Still nothing. "Fucking hell," Matt said, climbing into the building. "If he's been murdered, I swear to God." Amy looked at Lila. "I'm going in too, are you coming?" Lila rubbed her arms nervously. "No, I think I'll wait here, in case someone comes past and they can, help us." Amy stared at her for a second, then shrugged and climbed in after Matt. Matt pulled out his phone and turned on his flashlight, scanning the room. "Tyler," he called out shakily. "Tyler, stop fucking around and come out," Amy called past him. They walked further in, stepping over fallen shelving. The roof had caved in, leaving a gaping hole in the ceiling. Amy walked into the back of Matt, while staring up at the sky through the hole. "Oh, sorry," she apologized, looking back down and stopping. Matt was staring at something she couldn't see. "Tyler, is that you?" Matt called out into the darkness, raising his flashlight. Tyler was standing in the doorway of what looked like some kind of storage room. He wasn't moving, just standing with his back to them. "Dude, what the fuck?" Amy whispered. Matt approached slowly, extending his arm and putting his hand on Tyler's shoulder. "Hey, Tyler, UG." Tyler whipped around in a blur, his voice cutting through the air like a whip. "I'm going to kill you." "Holy fuck." Matt fell backward into Amy, crashing on top of her. Tyler burst out laughing, doubling over. "You're such a fucking dickhead," Amy screamed. Matt jumped up and shoved Tyler, who was still laughing. "Your fucking face," Tyler wheezed from laughing so hard. "Fucking golden." "Are you okay?" Matt said, helping Amy to her feet. "Yeah, I'm okay." She brushed dirt off herself. "Just, what the fuck? There's actually some cool shit back here." Guys, there's someone coming," Lila called from the window. They turned and ran to the window. A pair of headlights was slowly getting bigger. An old, beat-up truck pulled into the service station behind Tyler's car. One by one, they jumped out of the window and watched as a large man, possibly in his late 40s with a thick gray beard and wearing a filthy old trucker's hat, stepped out. "Hiya, I noticed your car parked here and thought that maybe y'all need some help." His accent was thick and noticeably southern. He glanced behind them and gave a cartoonish wince. "Y'all did a number on that there poor window." He walked toward them slowly. I used to know the fella who ran this station. Nice guy. Didn't sit right with me what they did to him." Amy looked at Matt, who looked at Tyler. Do you have gas? My car is empty." The man stopped in front of them and sighed, long and drawn out. "Sheesh, well, I didn't think to bring any with me, considerin' I didn't know I was gonna stumble onto y'all." He extended a grubby hand to Tyler. "My name is Abraham. It's a pleasure to meet y'all." Tyler shook his hand. Abraham held it long and hard. Can you drive us back to the city? Matt piped up from behind Tyler. Gosh, well, the city is about a couple hours. He pointed in a direction, then spun around and put his hand on his head. I'm afraid I can't drive that far out. I gots to get home to the wife and kids, you know how it is. He looked at them for a second. But I guess I can't leave a couple of kids out here in the cold after dark. No good can come from that, oh no. The Lord will bless those who look after those in need. Amy gulped. Y'all can jump in the back. I got some game in there, so try not to disturb the tarp. Tyler looked at Lila, then at the other two. Matt shrugged, and Abraham put his arm around Tyler, ushering him to the passenger seat of the truck. They looked at each other nervously before shuffling behind him. Amy grabbed Matt's arm. Are we seriously going to this guy's house? She whispered. What choice do we have? He yanked his arm free. The three of them climbed into the back of the truck, stepping cautiously around the big lump in the middle covered by the tarp. The truck rumbled to life, and Amy could see Abraham slap Tyler on the back and laugh through the rear window. After about 15 m,